Hey guys, welcome back to A Dose for the Soul, our mini-sode number 2. And you guys are tuning in to something very interesting. So first, thank you all for tuning in to mini-sode number 1, where we talked about how I am present with gratitude, and I still am. You guys remember where I talked about, everything going on, just the madness of the world. And of course, many of us are probably celebrating right now our newest election results. But listen, it's a safe space, right? And so there's something else that I wanted to talk about today. So for this mini-sode number 2 series of A Dose for the Soul with yours truly, Miss D, I wanted to tackle something that happened to me recently. So I tend to try these past few years, maybe turn as many negative things as I encounter to a positive. There are certain things that sometimes trigger me. There are certain things that will trigger me to the point that I'm just spazzing the fuck out, right? I mean, who doesn't? We all have our own very unique and special triggers. But overall, I try my best to keep it to a thought process of finding the positive in a negative. And the reason why I do that is because I'm trying really hard to just stay very at peace, protecting my space. It's part of the new me, part of the new Misty. And so one of those things is whenever so often we lose something. And I'm not talking about like, oh, I just had my favorite pen in my hand type of shit. Or where are my glasses? I just had them and they happen to be on your head or some shit like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you really lose shit. Like you really lost something important. I don't know if this has happened to any one of you guys, but like, have you ever gone into a bank? You take out $100. You swore you put them in your pocket. Next thing you know, they're not there. Clearly you lost them. Or it doesn't have to be $100. It could be $20 or whatever the case may be. Or let's say it was your ring. It just slipped off. Or you did not clip your chain correctly. It just slipped off and it fell, right? Some of you, I know, now that I'm a new AirPod user, I'm sure you have lost AirPods and it pisses you off, especially when you only lose one of them. Okay, so little things like that, right? That it will totally like turn your life upside down and it'll piss you the fuck off. Well, even if it's something like that, I try and find the positive in shit. So I've lost $20. I've lost $100. And the way I make myself feel better is I just think to myself, whoever is it that found those 20 or $100 clearly needed it more than I did. That's how I try to look at shit, right? I try to look at things from that angle. I try and always see that there's a reason behind some shit like that happening, right? Okay, great. So something happened to me recently. I have, like most of us, most females especially, we have, a little fake like dress up jewelries, for a quick bar night or a quick little restaurant night. You got your big hoops and, your jewelry and whatnot. Great. But I always have my set of real jewelry. By real, I mean real gold or real silver. And the reason why is because growing up, I grew up with very sensitive skin, and so I couldn't wear fake jewelry. So even when you see me sometimes now with like those very extravagant big ass hoops, it's just for like a night or two. It's not even for that long because I can't really wear it. So I have my set of real gold earring hoops, and they're not like extravagantly big, right? They're just like your medium size or maybe a little bit on the large size hoops, that I would wear. They're my real gold hoops. Well, you guessed it. Last week, I had a very intense and hectic morning. It did not start off that great. I was running a little bit late behind schedule, and not lately, but it was late behind my schedule, how I've been able to tackle my timing. And I could have sworn I saw my earring on when I was looking through the train door, right, with the little glass as I was getting ready to get off my stop, heading to work. And I could have sworn I saw both my hoop earrings as I was readjusting my AirPods. And by the time I got upstairs and I ran to my first meeting of the day and I came back to my desk and I removed my mask, I realized one of the hoop earrings is gone. And so, of course, I'm not going to let this go because these are my real gold hoop earrings, right? So I'm not just going to give up. So I'm going to trace back all my steps. I go back, I'm checking. I go exactly to the 2 elevators I took. I go to the floor where I was. I reached out to a few people like, hey, if you see it, let me know. because, this set of hoop gold earrings have a sentimental value to me. I'm not going to share that with you guys, but it did have some form of sentimental value to me. And I wanted to find it and I did not. And so I just had to take a moment and I had to sit at my desk and I had to tell myself, there's a reason that shit happened. Maybe somebody's gonna find it. Maybe somebody's gonna need to pawn it, get like $5 or $10 for it, maybe at most. And those are gonna be the $5 or $10 they needed. I don't know. I tried to make myself feel better as much as I could in losing my real gold hoop earring because it was just getting to me slowly and surely. But I did not want it to take over my entire day. But the fun did not stop there. I was talking to a friend of mine and I said, there has to be a meaning to this shit, right? Because I still was not letting it go. I'm like, there has to be a meaning to this thing. So I'm like, I'm going to Google this shit. So I decided to Google lost gold hoop earring. Like as if I'm really going to get a freaking article talking to me about what the meaning is behind losing a gold hoop earring. Negative. But I did get this very totally not verified article, mysteries24.com, and it was about just losing an earring. And so, they share my sentiments about how annoying the shit is, right? And of course, it's unfortunate, right? But there was an actual meaning behind this shit. And so after reading this, to be quite honest, it all made perfect sense. So it said, if you lose an earring on your right ear, it portends marriage. This belief is often true, sometimes not about marriage, but new love affairs. Okay, newsflash, it was the left earring. So I continue to read. To lose the earring from your left ear means that negative energy is piling on you over a very long period of time. To protect you, the earring took the negative energy and has fallen from your ear. Now, if you've been tuning into my episodes, right, and definitely into the first mini-sode, and if you've been following me on social media, Double Dose of Misty or Double Dose of Raw Talk, primarily Instagram, you would see that I've been just sharing here and there little just thoughts about just protecting my peace and protecting my energy and definitely protecting my space, my safe haven, my home now, right? And so to read that that's exactly what losing the earring from the left ear means, it's breaking away negative energy. Coincidentally enough, in the last maybe a month or a little bit more, I've definitely felt like there's been some form of negativity around. And to be able to read that, to go through that on the day that I went through it, right? To be able to put two and two together and connect the dots. I've been it's been for maybe now 2 months, just going through a few changes, going through a few things. And by changes, no, I do not mean menopause, knock on wood. Okay, I'm going to be 35. I mean changes just in life, changes just in structure, changes in relationships and friendships, just changes in a lot of different things. And it's put so much into perspective. I've been questioning a lot of my choices, my decisions. I've been questioning a lot of the things I've decided to push forward on and probably should have been more careful on. I've questioned a lot of things. I put a lot into perspective and I put it all on the table and just really just looked at every single little card. And I've just reflected on it over and over again. And I realized that in now losing this left earring, and listen, this is not a verified source, right? But right now, it's what makes sense to me, okay? And I want you guys to just dig real deep into if you ever encounter just losing some shit that's going to turn your life upside down, just think that there must be a meaning for it. Think there must be a purpose to it. Think that maybe you're breaking something away or maybe somebody else needed it more than you. Because this not only just made perfect sense to me, it just brought so much peace to me to know that maybe in fact I needed to lose that left earring, and maybe in fact this is the meaning to it, right? That it means that I just broke away some negative energy that's been piling up on me, that's been surrounding me, that's been interfering in my life. And in losing this earring, it symbolized that I am getting rid of that negative energy. And I had to share this with you guys on this mini-sode part 2 of A Dose for the Soul, because here we are, we could totally flip the fuck out, right? And think to ourselves, oh my God, I lost a piece of jewelry. But no, there might just be something positive to a true negative. And so I wanted to just share that with you guys. I hope it resonates with some of you. If it does, you know where to find me. You can email the show, definitely write a review, or hit me up on Instagram on Double Dose of Misty or Double Dose of Raw Talk. If you go to the show notes, I will tag those just for reference for you guys. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know if this resonated with you. Let me know if it at least helped you look at life into a perspective of, let me turn the negatives into positives. I mean, if we don't have something to be happy about, let's just realize how much an election and results just turned maybe a little bit of hope, with a little bit of hope, a whole big negative of 4 years to a possible positive for years to come. And on that note, you guys will tune in on this week's episode on Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast. I am your host, always Miss D, and you guys will tune in. Thanks. Bye.